Hello, welcome to this new tutorial on Java. So today we are going to discuss about Java collections. So this is a framework in Java. So this provides a lot of utility methods to work on the data. So different kind of data, and most of the time the data is just a list of things, a group of things. It's a bunch of data, and you want to just manipulate that data. So it provides all kind of stuff for that one. So before I go into this one, let me just show you little this structure. So there's a collection interface, and it's available as part of the java.util package. And this interface is kind of the super interface as the parent or the root. And there are a lot of other interfaces which extend this interface. There's a list interface, set, queue, and there are other interfaces. So for we're just going to stick to only just work on this probably three of them here because there are a lot of them, and once you know them, you will get idea of how those other will focus. So today we're going to probably focus on this first one, list interface, and how she is implemented. So let's go here. So let me just start. If you remember in Java, the arrays, like let's say you want to store. I'm just going to start with this example and see why we need the other interface. So let's say in Java, let's say you want to declare an array of strings. So this is the way you declare, but you also have to specify how big that array is. So in this case, it's arrays of size 2. So it means you can store 2 elements in this one. So cars 1, let's say you can store here Ford. Cars 1, you can store, let's say, Honda. And if you want, you can just go through this one and let's print it out. Column length and you just do here system.out.println cars, and you can just do I. So let's see. Yeah, so you have Ford and Honda, and let's say you want to store another car here, let's say index 2. So what will happen? Because here you have a car which is of size 2, so it means this cars variable can only contain 2 elements or 2 things. We only have one thing and we have second thing, but now we are trying to add one more. It will complain. So if you try to run this program, it says array index out of bound. So it means index 2. We don't have index 2 because we have index only 0 and 1 because our this array is of size 2. I mean, if you want to store more, you have to maybe probably let's say you want to store 3. So if you do 3, it's fine because 0, 1, 2. The index starts from 0, so still it can store 3 elements. So now it should be fine because we have 3 elements, so it's fine. But the problem is sometimes you don't know how big your array has to be. It can be 10, 20, 30, 40, and you don't know. So the problem is if you declare something 10 and later on if you want to start another 11th element to it, then it will throw that exception you just saw, array index out of bounds, because you don't have space. So, or you can be very, nice, and you can say, oh, I've made this array of this much, so let's say put like 10,000. Let's put 10,000 here. Yeah, cars. But if you only store 100 cars here and you declare an array of 10,000 elements, what will happen? All other space which is not used will be wasted actually. So, just to avoid this, because you don't know how many things you need to store, and basically you need something which is variable in length or dynamic growing kind of list. So in order to solve those problems, this Java provides this collection framework, and it has a lot of utility classes. And one of the first one we talked about this list interface. So let's say we want to store a list of strings, so we can just say same thing. I'm taking the same example here, but this time I'm saying, let's see, I'm going to just explain this. Let's try to import them. So as you can see, they are in the utility class. So util class. So what array list is in util class? List. So list is an interface, and array list is the implementation of that interface. So array list implements the list interface. So array list is, and we said this is a list of strings. So you can store any kind of string. So we know that cars, we can say, and it has method like add. So you can say Ford. Same thing what we did in the other example, but here now we don't have to worry about the size actually. So you can store as many as entries you want here actually. So it didn't really matter because it's a dynamically growing list of things actually. So we did, and we can keep adding. It doesn't matter. And if you want to, you can just print them. And I think in the list you can just say cars. So let's say yeah. See, it printed Ford, Toyota, Honda. So this is also index 0, 1, 2, because this is array list. So it's also store things in the order. So let's say we can say car at position 1 equal to, let's say, so we can access at position 2. Sorry, you have this get method, you say I, sorry, not I, but 1. So I said 1. So one position, we know that's Ford is at 0, Toyota is 1. So it should print Toyota. Yeah, it print Toyota. And there are a lot of methods, in this list interface. Basically, this all get extended from the collection interface. So cars, you can just say size, cars total. So cars has a method called, you can just say size. So it tells you how many cars are there. So it should be just 3. Yeah. There's another method, like, you can just look at these methods. Okay, just say total properly. Cars is empty. So we can also check if the list is empty, if there's anything or no. Sometimes they could be list, could be empty. Okay, it's false because we have cars there actually. So there are a lot of stuff you can do in this. You can add, you can even remove actually. So let's say you can say cars dot, no, you can just say cars dot clear, this method. So after I clear, so let's print this total again. And as you might have guessed, this second total should be 0 actually. Yeah, so earlier the total is 3. After car empty false, then cars total 0 because we declared them. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this one. Another utility class which is very important or used a lot of times in the development is this is a class called collections in the same package. And what this provides, it provides a lot of utility methods again. Let's say you have cars. You see this is a cars, a list of cars, and you see they are printed Ford, Toyota, Honda, and you might have hundreds of them. Let's say you want to sort them in order. So you don't have to really do anything. You have to just use this utility class and you can just sort it. So let's say, and if you want to print the cars again here and then, so let's see. Okay, so now you see Ford, Honda came first because that's, and the Toyota goes like that. So you can just sort, that's one thing. And it also provides a lot of methods. So like let's collection.add. So you can, let's say you have cars, and if you want to add more cars to this collection, you can add like, Tesla, Nissan, more cars. And let's say you want to print them again after adding. Yeah, so you see Tesla, Nissan, they got added. So you can keep adding this. I mean, I just gave this example of add all, but there are other things you can just add from one collection to another. Let's say instead of this one, you can maybe say, well, yeah, I think you could have done this individual too, but this is another way of doing it. And sometimes you can have 2 collections and you can add the elements of one collection into that elements of another collection. So you can use that stuff too actually. So let me see if I can give you one example. Let's say list of string here, and this is bikes equal to new array list again after strings, this one, and let's say bikes dot add. I'm going to say new bike. I'm just going to give makeup here. Now if I say cars dot add all from bikes, so basically I'm just trying to do this new collection. Let's see what the cars come. Cars should have the new entry come up here now. Oh yeah, so the new bike came here. So basically, you have one collection, you have elements into that one, then you create another collection, you have elements in that one. Then for the first collection, you can add all the elements from the second one. So it has a lot of utility methods available. So you should just go and explore those. But this is the place. So this array list is the dynamically growing list. If you don't know in advance how many elements you're going to have, you can use the array list, and it keeps the items in order. And behind the scenes, I think it also uses arrays in Java, but every time you add element, it keeps removing the old array, creates a new one, but it does that behind the scenes, so you don't have to worry about it. But this is good when you want to really store the stuff and really want to view it or process it. But if you want to do a lot of manipulations, then array list may not be a good choice. And in the next video, we are going to discuss about the linked list, which is another class which again implements this list interface. So this array list implement the list interface. This class also implement the list interface. But this linked list, it has its own use case when you should use the linked list, when you should use the array list. So for now, that's all for this video. So hope you like this video. Please consider subscribing to the channel and like the video. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.